Hi, good evening. I am Dr. Rosalind Osgood. I am a resident of Broward County, and 24 years ago I lived homeless on the streets as I battled with addiction, running in and out of jail, and through that process I got myself 2 felony convictions. My life has changed drastically with the help of God and people that care in grassroots organizations. I've been able to go back to school to earn 5 degrees, to include a master's in doctrine and public administration and a master's of divinity degree. However, as I continue to live day to day, the struggles of my past or the things that happened in my past continue to come up. In 2007, Governor Charlie Crist made somewhat of a great decision to allow many of us to have our rights automatically restored. It also demonstrated to us that there was a practice or there was a system in place that would allow rights to automatically be restored. And then in 2011, Governor Rick Scott came along and just with the swipe of a pen did away with that. He kind of put us back, all of us that have been working for the last 20 or 30 years. It was kind of like we had a major setback with the new rules that were put into place as it relates to clemency and eliminating the possibility of rights being automatically restored. We're at a point now where we continue to have what I call demolition public policy that continues to demoralize the life of people who are disenfranchised. We tend to be operating on a system, instead of it being a system of rehabilitation, it's a system of conscious retribution. So now if I'm a returning citizen, my rights are not restored. I find it very interesting. It's kind of like, to me, taxation without representation, but that's another press conference for another time. I think that we're at a very difficult point, but we must continue to speak out and have rallies like this. I'm a proud member of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, and in that coalition, it's a statewide grass movement. Our president, Desmond Meade, is here, and this organization is designed specifically to raise awareness about the disenfranchisement of people and their rights to vote all across the state. And through this organization, we've become a resounding voice, and we keep showing up, and we keep talking about this issue, and we will keep showing up and keep talking about this issue until we see changes in policies that truly makes America a land of liberty, justice, and freedom for all. I currently work as the president and CEO of the Mount Olive Development Corporation, which is a faith-based organization. I believe that we should practice what we preach. 90% of my staff are people with pasts like myself. I believe that we come through those struggles and challenges so that we can turn around and serve our communities to make a difference in the lives of others. I can't tell you how I spend countless nights as I'm working with ex-offenders that are being released from jails, and I'm trying to get them jobs and their rights are not restored. I'm trying to empower them and give them hope, but the laws of the land is working in opposition as to what we're trying to do to empower them and to make them better people. So I've decided that I'm going to take it to a whole nother level. In November, I filed as a candidate for Broward County School Board District 5. And I just recently, in August 14th, got 18% of the votes. I'm now in a runoff. I got 48% of the votes. You have to get 50 plus 1. My next opponent got 29% of the votes. And during early voting, they sent out a piece that says, should a former drug addict, prostitute, and convicted felon be on the Broward County School Board? I got a call from a man by the name of Mr. Goldsmith that I didn't know. He was livid because his daughter is currently in a rehab center, and the piece was mailed to the rehab center. His daughter left the rehab center and went out and relapsed because the piece said to her that her past would always be thrown up in her face, that she would never have an opportunity to change or to be better. I am committed to public service. I'm willing to take whatever hits I need to take to make a difference in this country. I'm committed to make sure that every person, regardless of race, creed, sexual orientation, is treated fairly. So as my life story has been there's been a reoccurring theme throughout my life story. Optimizing opportunities and obtaining outstanding outcomes. Optimizing optimizing opportunities, and obtaining outstanding outcomes. There are many obstacles that have stood in my way. There are many obstacles that I have to deal with today, and I'm sure there are many obstacles that you have to deal with as you live from day to day. But we must take advantage of every opportunity to not only be empowered ourselves, but to empower others. We cannot afford to not take advantage of these opportunities. This is the only way that we're going to positively effectuate change in our community. So as we see the obstacles and barriers to voting this coming November, and I could tell you stories of how I went door to door because I qualified by petitions, and I needed 1,200 petitions. I ended up turning in 3,500 petitions because half of them was disqualified because people's signature didn't match. So all of these games that are being played to minimize our vote or to disenfranchise us, they are real. They're not something delusional that somebody's just talking about or making up. They are actually happening all across this world as it relates to voting. So I believe that as we continue to be empowered ourselves and empower our community, we will overcome these insurmountable challenges. My life is a testament of that, and many of you in the room today, your life is that same testament. You're like me. You're a living epistle that says that when you're empowered, you change, and then you turn around and make a difference. Across the country, we face this whole notion of voter suppression. Millions are standing together as a testament to the strength and empowered electorate. For years, I have cried out and said, let me vote. Let me just be a productive member of society. Take away all the barriers and the things that continue to be put in place to disfranchise certain groups of people. If I can just make this plain and realistic, when we think about the fact that we have about, I think it's over 700,000 people in jail, that's a lot of votes. That's a lot of voices. When we go and we do our time and we make retribution or pay the penalty, why is it that laws and rules give us double standards that we have to continue to fight and fight and fight? And every day I get up to fight, to make a difference, not only for myself, but for those that are coming behind me. So today we stand united. As I look across the room, I see diversity in age, I see diversity in education, I see diversity in ethnicity, I see diversity in sexual orientation. I see all us here today standing together, united, crying out to let our voices be heard and let our votes be counted. So as we stand, all of those that are stood with me on the podium today, we say in one united voice, let people vote.